All right, the nice New Mexico going on.
It'll work. Good afternoon. Veterans, community members, students, and staff, welcome to our 9th annual Veterans Day program. Veterans Day is a day set aside to honor those who have served their country. It traces its roots back to World War I, when it was known as Armistice Day. In 1954, in its original proclamation on Armistice Day, Congress spelled out the purpose for the commemoration. Whereas the 11th of November, 1918 marked the cessation of the most destructive, sanguinary, and far-reaching war in human annals, and the resumption by the people of the United States of peaceful relations with other nations, which we hope may never again be severed. And whereas it is fitting that the recurring anniversary of this date should be commemorated with thanksgiving and prayer and exercises designed to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding between nations. And whereas the legislatures of 27 of our states have already declared November 11th to be a legal holiday, therefore be it resolved by the Senate, the House of Representatives concurring, that the President of the United States is requested to issue a proclamation calling upon the officials to display the flag of the United States on all government buildings on November 11th and inviting the people of the United States to observe the day in schools and churches or other suitable places with appropriate ceremonies of friendly relations with all other peoples. At this time, please rise. Gentlemen, remove your headgear and help us honor America by singing along with our national anthem. At this time, I would like to introduce the Milaca Elementary School Children's Choir under the direction of Mr. Ben Huta and Mr. Ian Hendrickson.
To show you care in every way, they sacrifice so we have freedom. Tell them how grateful you are every single day. Tell them you know the goodness in their heart and all that they gave up so that they could do their part. We'll honor them for answering the call. Their bravery and courage will inspire us one and all. How do you tell a veteran thank you? What do you say to show you care in every way? They sacrifice so we have freedom. Tell them how grateful you are, let them while you're standing on your feet. Keeping watch, protecting shore to shore, in the air and oceans too. Defending freedom at all costs, for the red, the white, and blue. Thank you, oh thank you, men and women brave and strong. To those who serve so gallantly, we sing this grateful song. To the soldiers who have traveled on, to countries far and near, in peace and war you paid the price, for the cause you hold so dear. Every may wake each morning bright, and know that freedom reigns, because of your great sacrifice, your country joins to sing. Thank you, oh thank you, men and women brave and strong. To those who serve so gallantly, we sing this grateful song. Thank you, oh thank you, men and women brave and strong. To those who serve so gallantly, we sing this grateful song.
President George Washington once said, "The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation." And that's why we're here today, to appreciate all those who have answered the call to serve. So at this time, if you are a veteran, I would like you to stand and be recognized. I'd also like to recognize family members of service members. We know that when someone joins the military, it's not just the member that suffers being away from family, but family members that are left here while others are away. So are there any Blue Star families here today? So a Blue Star family would be a family that consists of an immediate family member of a service member during a time of conflict. So anybody with an immediate family member serving today on active duty? Thank you. Also, I don't know if there are any of these here, but any Gold Star families. So a Gold Star family would be someone that had an immediate family member of a fallen service member who died while serving in a time of conflict. Any Gold Star families here? Okay. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce the Milaca High School Concert Choir under the direction of Mr. Jacob Barsness.
Come now and gather in the glade where the emerald stream in the evening shade, and meditate on the works He's made, great God, our sovereign Lord. Join us now, the meadow is green, and the water's pure, and the woods serene, and the flowing air is fresh and clean, where God His blessings pour. Feel the wind come down, hear the whistle as it goes, it brings us sun, it brings us sun, a blessing from above. The sun comes up and the sun goes down, and the stars and the sun comes up and the sun goes down in witness to His love. Here now, ye sons of men, for danger lurks in this great garden. The Lord will visit once again to see what we have done.
As God is the shepherd and we are the sheep, we, our Mother Earth, must keep, maintain the air, protect the deep, and Judgment Day He'll come.
See the Lord come down, hear the whistle as He goes, He bears our load,
See the Lord come down, hear the whistle as He goes, remember all His power.
See the Lord come down, stay shining bright, His holy fears.
See the Lord come down, be shining bright, you will regret that hour.
So my people, beware, you're in charge of the seas and the earth and the air. You better take extraordinary care of the earth, our only home. All glory be to God on high, shout praises loudly to the sky. Listen to the earth and hear a cry in heaven, forever roam. That morn shall tearless be.
I give thee
love that will not let me go.
Today we're here to honor all veterans, but if you looked out in the foyer on your way in today, we have some items on display from the Milaca Museum here, so thanks to Tom Sauer and the Milaca Museum for loaning those to us for today. We're kind of honoring a special group, the unit here from Milaca that was activated during the Korean War. And I did a little research on our speaker today, but I don't really know exactly what he's going to talk about. Usually with high school kids, Bill, I have them turn in their speeches ahead of time, so I know what they're going to say when they get up here. So I'm a little worried about, just letting you get up here and speak. But Bill walked into my office before the school year this year, and he wanted to come and honor the unit that was activated by calling off the names. And I said, well, why don't you be my speaker? And he was a little hesitant, but after about 20 minutes, I talked him into it. So he's a little excited to get up here, I think. He's probably going to beat me with that cane afterwards, but Bill Lindholm is our speaker. Come on up, Bill.
I knew he'd do it. From the first time I met him, I feel, he'll get anybody in trouble. If anybody has a good idea here in town, be sure and call Damien, because he'll get you to do it. Anyway, thank you all for attending our 70th year anniversary of the 194th Tank Battalion, Company C, which was mobilized for the Korean conflict in 1951, 70 years ago. Woo! Today we're going to remember about 70 years ago and 90 men, I meant 86 men and 4 boys. I mean, the 86 men, the 4 of us were still in high school, but the 86 men went on to Camp Rucker, Alabama, to be soldiers. They knew we would come 6 months later, where us kids knew how to become a soldier. First, let me introduce 2 of the men that are here today. Appreciate their time. Bob Becker, stand up, please. And Ralph Segerstrom. Good, thank you. I don't count, so that's all right. We were known as the Milaca National Guard back 70 years ago. The Guard who met every month at the Milaca Armory, where we learned to take guns apart, put them back together, learn to cook, learn what a tank was, learn how to run one, learn how to fix one. But it all came back together with us learning when we came to become soldiers, which was tough. Then came the news that we were now going to be soldiers. We were activated January 16th, 1951. We met at the train station, which is still here. Kind of brings back memories. 86 men boarded the train and headed for Camp Rucker, Alabama. The four of us kids waved goodbye. But it was not a goodbye. It was only 6 months later, and we were going to become soldiers. Hard to believe. The four men were still kids. I'm going to skip all the fun that we had when we were down in Alabama. We got to wade through the swamps of Alabama to learn to be a soldier. We got to go to the hot sands of Texas to learn to be a soldier. Oh, that was tough. When we were discharged, we came back to Milaca and formed what we knew as a last man's club. We thought this was a chance for us to get together, which it worked real good, because that's about all we could do until we became disabled in 2017. It was only 4 years ago. Then we disbanded at that time, and the last time we met, I've been trying to keep track of all these men. Hard to do. Anyway, you met two of them. Out of the 10 men that are still with us, we have two here. We have Elfbert Manthei, Arnold Eggert, Ken Weaver, Harold Hassing, Kenny Adgren, Jairus Anderson, Carl Opensky, and me. I call them missing in action because they didn't show up today. Anyway, they're trying to get together everybody. I still got 10 men that I haven't heard from since we disbanded 4 years ago. The names are Don Christensen, Robert Beaver, Henry Michaels, Mark Wise, George Tomey, Gerald Otten, and Dean Moline. It's hard. We don't know. I don't know what happened to them, but I've been able to keep track of everybody up till now. Anyway, I want to read the names of the men that were Company C, 194th Tank Battalion, that some of us will remember, most of us will forget because they're not buried here in Milaca. I'm going to read the name of the ones that are deceased and not buried here, we don't know much about. Names are Noel Asp, Amer Anderson, Oscar J. Anderson, Ronald Anderson, Stanley Anderson, Hollis Berg, George A. Besser Jr., Myron Bloomquist, Neil Bloomquist, Robert Burkhardt Sr., Robert Burkhardt Jr., Eugene Burke, James Burns, Harry Biker, Frank Dahl, John O'Dahl, Malin Dahl, Chester Dahlberg, Ernest DeBoer, Garrett DeBoer, Charles Dehart, Leroy Eckberg, Gene Egan, Elvin Fries, John Gunnick, James Halverson, Doug Hamill, Gordon Heim, Dale Hellman, Lloyd Hellman, Lyle Hellman, James Holmgren, Harold Jacobson, Alan Jacobson, Kenneth Johnson, Larry R. Johnson, James A. Kelly, John Coolius, Edward Lundberg, David Lundgren, Grant Magnuson, Melvin Matson, Irvin Monroe, John R. Nelson, Paul A. Olson, Gene Palmquist, Earl Pleak, Morris Quam, Merlin Ramsdale, Garrett Sanema, Sidney Sanema, Henry Skur, Ted Cinco, Max Slater, Joseph E. Smith, Louis R. Smith, John Strait, Carl Stromberg, Peter Tingblad, Roy Warland, Francis Welty, Henry Wood, Charles Yetzer, Gerald Zemer. These are men that are forgot and have done, I hope, a lot of hope for all of us. But it's hard not to be able to see them again. After knowing and being together for 70 years, I respect their problems, and some of these men cannot be here today, but thank God we've got men that have served our nation, men who are wearing the uniform, are bragging about our uniform, bragging about our places where we've been. Anyway, thank you for listening to my story.
Got something going. Hold on. No, come here. There's a challenge coin right here. You look on the other side here.
Cool. Thank you.
I'll give one of these guys too.
Okay. Thank you all. It's tough to come back to Milaca and not knowing anybody hardly anymore. Everybody, I know there's a lot of new people here, and thank you for keeping Milaca on the board. Thank you again.
There was one person who didn't make it back from Korea, was killed in action. His picture is out on that board. His name is Orland Stanchfield. I don't know a lot about Orland. Talking with Tom Sauer yesterday, I think there were 2 kids in that family. There was a sister. Orland had a sister who was a teacher. I believe she taught here, according to Tom. But that name is on the bronze plaque out there. The one killed in action, the one that didn't come home from Korea. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Milaca High School Symphonic Band under the direction of Mr. Andrew Nelson, and he'll be accompanied by Milaca science teacher and Army veteran, Mr. John Shipman.
No soldiers choose to die. It's what they risk by being who and where they are. It's what they dare while saving someone else, whose life means suddenly as much to them as theirs, or more. To honor them, why speak of duty or the will of governments Think first of love each time you tell their story. It gives their sacrifice a name and takes from war its glory.
In keeping with military tradition, the Symphonic Band and Concert Choir will now perform Armed Forces Salute. Veterans in attendance, we ask you to stand if able when your song is played and your military flag is displayed. Audience, please give a round of applause as each song is played and each flag appears. The United States Army. The United States Coast Guard. the United States Marine Corps, the United States Air Force, the United States Navy, Today is a day to honor those who have answered the call to serve. We all benefit from the sacrifices our veterans have made, which is why we should honor their service by how we behave and act, and the pride we take in how we live, how we work, and how we treat others. Thank you again for helping us honor our veterans today. As the concert choir and symphonic band perform America the Beautiful, please take a moment to remember and pray for all of our servicemen and women as they serve around the world. Feel free to sing along, and a special thanks to all of our veterans in attendance today. Students, after this song, you'll be released to 6th hour, safely and orderly to 6th hour. Community members, if you just want to wait, we'll let the students get back to class. If you did park out in front of the school, which I hope most of you did, our buses will start arriving around 2:40, so we ask that you clear the bus corral there before that. Just a reminder that there will be a dedication of the new Veterans Memorial at 3 p.m. up at Trimble Park today, if you'd like to attend that. This new memorial was built with donations from many community entities and individuals, so thanks for all of them for that commemoration for our veterans. At this time, the Milaca Symphonic Band and Concert Choir will perform America the Beautiful.
Beautiful for spacious skies, forever waves of gray. For purple mountains and majesties above the earth God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy God with brotherhood. From sea to shining sea,
Also, special thanks to Jeremiah Shoemaker for putting together the slideshow for us, Jeremy Mikla for helping with the live stream. This live stream and the slideshow, all of this, we couldn't do it without the help from these individuals, and it also allows veterans who couldn't be here today in person to watch. Specifically, I had Tom Kwame reach out to me. He's recovering from COVID right now at home, couldn't be here. And he asked me to give a special shout out to teachers, school staff, and healthcare workers who are on the front lines here at home, helping people through the pandemic here. So thank you to all of them. Students, at this point, you're released to 6th hour, so safely and orderly, you can head back.